Hey everyone, I am Gini Dietrich, and this is
Addie.
Addie what?
Addie Dietrich!
And would you like to show everybody your teeth? So weird. We are here for an Ask Me Anything, which is a new series. Goodbye. A new series on From Spin Sucks, which talks to our friends, our viewers, our community about what they would like to know. The whole point is to stump me. If I don't know the answer, I will ask one of my smart friends to join me. And so let's take a look at the mailbag. The first question comes from Christopher S. Penn. Can someone help me figure out how to expand the maximum training window for the T5 transformer in Google Colab?
Squishes.
That was not English, so the answer is no.
Squishes.
Douglas Burdett says, what do women want? Douglas, I will tell you, it's 3 things. Wine, a book, and peace and quiet.
And kids.
And kids. But here is the
baby rattle.
Okay, please go somewhere else. Thank you. Bye. Love you. Julia Brolin has 3 really good questions that we're gonna actually. Those were all jokes. Well, maybe they weren't jokes. I took them as jokes. But she has 3 really good questions that we're going to talk about today. So how about tracking pitch efforts and reporter follow-up? I use a combination of spreadsheets, my inbox, and LinkedIn messages. There has to be a better way. Yes. Number 2 is, how do you have the this isn't newsworthy conversation with leadership? Number 2. And number 3 is, we've talked a little bit about paywalls. They're killing me. I pitch a lot of local news outlets and industry-specific online publications, and I don't even want to pitch it if a paywall is involved, because we can't share on social. Okay, number 1. I'm very sad that Iris PR is no longer, because it was a perfect media relations CRM. It was perfect for this. You would attach a code in the body of your email and it would track everything in one place, and then you could have dashboards. It was perfect, but COVID took them over, and as it did many of us, and here we are. So actually it's not quite as robust as Iris was, but you can use a CRM. We use HubSpot for one client, and we just track everything in there, and we can attach the same kind of code, and then I can create reports and stuff like that. It's not as pretty, but it definitely works better than spreadsheets, your inbox, and LinkedIn messages. So it allows you. Now I will say that if you're pitching on social, you're doing it, it doesn't work if you're not pitching via email. If you're direct messaging on Twitter, or you're doing LinkedIn messages, doesn't work as well. So ideally you would want to get somebody into the CRM so that you can track them, but that's probably the best way. Number 2, this isn't newsworthy conversation. You know what? We actually just had this happen. We stopped fighting it, and we're like, okay, there are 2 things that we can do. Here are some publications that do talk about those kinds of things. It was People on the Move. And there are some publications that will do that and highlight that kind of stuff. So we'll do those. And they said, well, what about this publication, this publication, this publication? We said, great, we'll do it, because most of those reporters are friends. And then we let the reporter tell the client that it wasn't newsworthy. And one of them was just like, really? But we let her tell them, and it came across much better. The other thing we did is say, look, we can spend $1,500 and put it on the newswire if you want, and that'll help. And they're like, nah, it's okay. So there's a little bit of education, there's a little bit of give and take, and there's a little bit of, hey, maybe somebody else just needs to tell them. And maybe it's a reporter friend that is the person that does that. As for the paywall, this one might stump me. I agree with you. If it's not, it's interesting to me that they would put something behind the paywall, like an interview or feature like that, something like that, because the whole point would be to drive people to their website, because it was new and it was interesting, and you have the social prowess to be able to drive people there. So it's interesting that they're doing that. I haven't actually come across that. Pretty much everything that we do, and granted, I'm not the one pitching day to day, but I'm going to come back to you on that one. So let's just say I answered 2 and I'm coming back to on the 3rd. If you have a question that you'd like to stump me on or get stump one of my very smart friends on, you can go to the Spin Sucks community and drop it there. If you're not already a member, it's free. It's awesome. We have a great time. You can find us at spinsucks.com/spin-sucks-community. That's spinsucks.com/spin-sucks-community. I will be back next week. I'm sure my intern will be too. I'll see you then.